Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing another foundation review, and I am going to be reviewing the new EX1 Invisiwear liquid foundation. These have recently launched in Boots. They were sold previously on Look Fantastic and Amazon. Off the top of my head, you can still get it from those websites, and apparently this is meant to be quite a good foundation. Also, I did contact them regarding like their cruelty-free status, because on their Twitter they were replying to tweets saying they were cruelty-free, but I decided to email them and ask them if they were cruelty-free or if they did sell in countries where it was required by law to test on animals, aka China, so they weren't really cruelty-free. Anyway, I did get a very quick response from them. I did like email them at 10 o'clock one night, and then the next day I got an email at 9:20 in the morning. I did confirm that they are an entirely cruelty-free brand. I was so glad when I found that out because I really wanted to try this foundation. But without further ado, I'm gonna review this foundation and tell you what I think, my thoughts and that kind of thing. Let's go. Okay, so I've zoomed you in a little bit so you can see my face a little bit better when it comes to doing the foundation. I do just want to point out that I'm having such a bad makeup day today, and it's made me very emotional. It's also my time of the month, so I think that's why I'm emotional. But anyway, so I'm sorry that my eyebrows are a mess. I'm sorry that my eyeshadow's a mess. Just bear with it, but I did still want to film this video. We all have bad makeup days, so I'm just going to take it on the chin and just be like, you know what, it happens. So I'm going to be testing out this foundation. This is what the packaging looks like. Will it focus today? Will it not? Who knows? So this is what the packaging looks like up close. As you can see, it's got like this rose gold / gold packaging here, and at the bottom it's also like see-through here. It's quite simple, but I like it. It's also worth pointing out that this foundation retails at £12.50. I have bought it in the shade 1.0, which is the lightest shade, obviously because I'm pale as a ghost. I will like pop a picture here if I can find a picture of like all the shade ranges. However, I don't think the best shade range in the world. As you can see, when you open it up, it comes with this pump. The one thing that I noticed when I bought this foundation though, as you can see, the foundation's kind of like separated at the top and here. I don't know why that is, but I was looking on their Twitter, as you do, and I found that a lot of people had had that problem. When I was in Boots, all the other foundations practically did that. And then I opened it up to check that no one had pumped it, and no one's pumped it. So, like all my other foundation reviews, I'm going to do one half of my face using my beauty blender and the other half using my brush. I am in a new filming background, and this is the first makeup video that I'm doing in my new filming background. So I don't know how well this is going to work or if my makeup's going to go everywhere, but we'll see. I have my beauty blender here. I think I'm going to use this one first. So you know what? We're going to use the brush first. Firstly, I'm going to use this brush. It's the Spectrum B01 brush. If you haven't used Spectrum brushes yet, you're missing out. That's all I'm going to say. This is not sponsored, but Spectrum brushes are vegan and cruelty-free, and they are so soft. Like, I'm going to put a pump at the back of my hand and then blend it into my hand just so you can kind of see what like the swatch looks like. I hate new foundations because it takes ages to like pump it out. Oh, this sit at the back of my hand. Did do a little swatch in store and it looked like it was an okay colour. Why is it going orange? Oh no, it's still quite pale. I think it was just the angle that I had it at. This is the shade 1.0 like I mentioned before. But I'm now going to just do a couple of pumps at the back of my hand, because normally I do a couple of pumps when it comes to foundation. I do like foundations with a pump. Just gonna dot it round on one half of my face and then the other. So far it's quite thick. It's not the thickest foundation that I've ever used, but once again it's only drugstore and it is only £12.50. I'm going to use that much for now, and if I need to use any more then I'll use some more. It does claim that it's quite a buildable foundation. It says it gives perfect coverage, but I think on the description on Boots it said that it was very buildable. I'm just going to use the brush first, and I'm going to blend it on this side of my face. So that hasn't given like full coverage because you can still see some of the redness there. It might blend a little bit better with a beauty blender, and I'm not the biggest fan of using brushes to blend in my foundation. I quite like that, and I quite like the colour as well. I think it's a little bit on the yellow tone side, and I have more pink undertone skin. I'm quickly going to blend this side in with the beauty blender just in case it dries quickly. Once again, it's not given like amazing coverage. Like, it's nothing compared to my Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. To be fair, that is like double the price. But I don't know, there's something about this coverage that I really liking. Like, I don't normally like foundations that aren't full coverage, but I like this. I'm gonna do another couple of pumps and then blend it in with the brush and the beauty blender once again. It's kind of like semi-matte finish. It doesn't feel like really mattifying on my face, which is good because I have very dry skin. Just for reference, like, my skin type is normal to dry. At the moment it's more on the dry side because of the weather and it's literally like -10 outside. But I'm gonna do another coat and see how it goes. Also blended quite nicely as well. So glad that I haven't wasted £12.50. Do you know what I mean? Times are tough nowadays, guys. I also recently ordered the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. No, I'm like the last one to ever order that, but if you want to see like a review on that, then just let me know. I don't know whether to do it because it's quite an old foundation, whereas this one's a little bit newer, but just let me know. And then I'm going to blend it in with my beauty blender again. Wow, that blends so nicely and that gives really nice coverage. It is very buildable as well. Like, as you can see, it's not really that cakey from a second like coat, that sort of thing. I don't really know my words, so I really like it for the price. And I've been looking for a nice drugstore foundation that I like because when I went cruelty free I had to give up on my L'Oreal Infallible. That was like my all-time favourite foundation ever, so I've been looking for something kind of like replace it. I would say I wish that they did a lighter shade because I kind of want a lighter shade than this because I feel like this is quite yellow toned. I feel like I can just about get away with it. Do you know what I mean? As to how I feel about this foundation mixed with a brush or a beauty blender, I would say that this side is a little bit more flawless with a brush. I have found that in these reviews with a lot of like foundations that I prefer the side with the brush compared to the side with the beauty blender. However, I would probably use it with a beauty blender more, only because I really don't like blending in my foundation with a brush. I don't know what it is, I just always go for beauty blenders. Like every other foundation review that I do on my channel, I'm gonna powder over it and make sure that it stays nicely in place because I'm actually going to Nando's after this video, so I kind of want my makeup to look semi-okay. So I am using my NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat powder. I've been using this so much recently and this is what it looks like. It's so handy because it comes with a mirror, so it's great for traveling. Not that I travel that much, but I wish I did. I'm just going to take my Spectrum powder brush for this and set this all in place. The foundation isn't really that tacky. Like with a lot of foundations they stay tacky, but that isn't that tacky, so I haven't used a lot of powder for this because I haven't really needed to. Also, this powder is quite pink toned, so I'm hoping that it will kind of even it out a little bit more because the foundation, like I mentioned, is quite yellow toned. I'm not going to do bronzer and contour because, to be quite honest, I really cannot be bothered to do bronzer and contour on camera and go to Nando's with it. Next, I'm going to move on to concealer. I probably should have done concealer before I did my powder, but it's me and I didn't really think of that. So I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer that everyone and their dog has been raving about at the moment, and I know why. I did do a full like first impressions video on this, so if you haven't watched this, it'll be up there or in the description bar below. I really like this. For £4. This is so good. They've actually sold out of my shade on Superdrug, so I'm trying not to use it that much because I feel like I'll run out of this and then it'll be out of stock in my shade, and I can't really use any shade darker than C1 because, once again, pale as a ghost. I'm just gonna use this to kind of brighten everything up because it's quite a yellow tone foundation. I'm hoping it'll brighten everything up, but honestly, this is really good coverage. If you haven't got it yet and you're thinking, do I try it? It's £4. Like, honestly, if you pick it up and you don't like it, it's not the end of the world. The thing I would say is that it gets quite drying under my under eyes because I have quite dry skin, but it's not uncomfortable drying. Coverage is so thick. Look how that has brightened up my under eyes. I know this isn't a video about the concealer, but I just thought as a side note I'd mention it, so yeah. Big cook, little cook, welcome to our cafe. Also, just want to say that I'm really sorry for the lack of uploads at the moment. If you haven't watched like my other video from before, or if you don't follow me on Twitter, then you won't know that the reason why I haven't been uploading isn't because I've been lazy. It's because at home I don't have any internet at the moment, and we haven't had internet for nearly 3 weeks now, which is so annoying. As I'm filming this, we still don't have internet, so when it goes up we will have internet whenever that is. That is why my uploads have been slacking recently, but now as you're watching this, I will have internet back, so I'll be back up to 3 times a week. And then lastly, I'm going to move on to, I said bronzer then, it's not bronzer. I'm going to move on to highlight, and for highlight I'm using my Balm Mary Luminizer. I recently picked this up and reused this again, and I realised how much I miss it. I've hit pan on this now. This is so good. Insane in the membrane. I wouldn't say it was like majorly subtle because it's still really pretty, but it's a little bit more subtle than some of my other ones. look at that nose highlight. Ooh. That is so pretty. Like, so I think it's pretty safe to assume that I will be using that foundation again. One thing that I really liked about it is the fact that it was buildable. It was close to my skin tone, so it was pale enough. It had a really nice finish to it, like it didn't feel really mattifying. It gave like a medium sort of good coverage, which is what I wanted in a foundation anyway. Another good thing that I liked about it is that it's only £12.50, so it's super affordable. So if I run out, then it's not like breaking the bank to buy a new one. I feel like it's going to be more of my everyday foundation. Like I did mention, this is sold in Boots stores now in the UK. You can check like the store stock on the Boots website. No, this is not sponsored, but that's just how I found out that it was in my local Boots store. So I will leave the link to where you can buy this in the description bar below. The only thing is that it has started to crease around my smile lines already, which isn't the end of the world because pretty much every foundation does that for me. Once again, thank you so incredibly much for watching, and I really hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to smash it a big massive thumbs up, and also feel free to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure you do also tap the bell down below so you are notified every single time I post a new video. As always, all my social media links will also be linked down there, so if you don't follow me, then feel free to. Once again, thank you so incredibly much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!